Hello, this is Sofia Martinez. I am so very happy to be sharing this space with you today. I wanted to talk about a purposeful life and the meaning of a purposeful life. I feel like there's the misconception that, you come into your life, into this world with one purpose, So for so long also we have understand or like the stories of like that one purpose or that one person, that it's the one soul in the whole world that is for us. No, or the one thing that we're supposed to be doing in our life. No, you're here to play many roles, and in fact, you're gonna be playing many roles. You might be an artist, you might be a mother, you might be a daughter, you might be, a son, you're gonna be a father, a mother, a grandfather, a grandmother. There's many roles, a teacher, a student. There's many roles that we play through life and in your life, and we are meant to be experiencing all those roles because through the roles that you play, you learn. Um, as a mother, you're a student and you're a teacher. As um, as a daughter, you are a student and you're a teacher. As a teacher, you're a student and you're a teacher. You're learning. Me, when I teach, I'm learning from my student constantly through the questions they ask, through the way they show up, through their own experiences, through their own perspectives. I'm constantly learning. And so a purpose is not one. It's not one that you have come here and it's if you don't get it right, then you have failed in your life. There is that misperception and misconception that that's the case. And so what I believe is that purpose is an ever expanding energy and it's a way of living, a purposeful living. A person that lives in purpose is a way of life. It's not a final destination, something that you have to get to and obtain. It's a way of being with yourself in relationship to yourself and your life and your experience of life. And so, what do I mean by this? That purposeful living happens in every moment, in every choice, when you're following the calling of your heart, when you're following all that which you are called to and towards, then you are purposefully living because, in a way, a purposeful life is a life of meaning. And the meaning you create in your life in relationship to yourself and the world. I do have to say that a purposeful life is a life of purpose and a life of meaning and a life of impact. Somebody that is called to living a purposeful life, there's a level of depth that is searching for in life because it's no longer about your own personal gain. It's not something you need to obtain. It's something that you are experiencing within yourself and sharing and impacting your life and the world at large, humanity. And so the difference is that a purposeful living, a purposeful life, it's creates purpose on every step of the way. There's purpose on every step of the way. Notice the difference. What is your intention? What is your purpose of taking this step, of speaking that way or responding that way? What is the purpose? There is something that naturally you look in the long term, not in the immediate reaction. There's a harvest, there's a richness to your life when you start focusing on purpose. What is my purpose? What is my intention in this moment, in who I am, in what I'm doing, in how am I behaving? Who do I want to be and what I want to create? What's the purpose? And therefore, you bring meaning to your life naturally, because when you focus on the purpose, you naturally mean create meaning, and there's a significance behind it because there's an intention behind it. I can live my life just, going to work, and that's great, or making money, and that's great. And then when I look deeper of what is the meaning of going to work, the work that I'm engaging with, the way I'm engaging with my coworkers, the way that I am making money and for what I'm using that money for, what is the purpose, then there's meaning that is attributed to all my actions, and therefore the results gain a completely different essence and experience. There's a sense of fulfillment. I remember there was a time in my life when, I worked in the kitchen, and I always felt very passionate about the connection between, the earth and culture, and nature and food and culture, that, weaving between as humanity on the land and in connection with the land and all life. And I remember I started exploring how to bring, heart and spirit into the kitchen, because throughout the process of my life working in the kitchen, it was just cooking. And then it became something more. How did I integrate that which I was passionate about, that was the earth, the energy of the food, the earth in the food, and the nourishment of humanity, of the soul, not only the body, but the soul, and not just the act of eating and cooking, but the connection of between people, between food, between the earth, between, culture. And so I started creating practices in the kitchen that I was leading, to bring that. And the purpose was to create a space where it wasn't only people who were not just coming to work, they were having an experience. It was a container of growth. It was a container of healing and integrating. It was a container of bringing your light. It was a container of inspiration and family and creating community. And it was a container of connecting with something larger than yourself, because ultimately for me, purpose is connecting with something larger than myself, that is going to leave an impact, that is going to create a positive impact in the world. And I know that that begins within myself. And so as I know it begins with myself, I began to remember at night, I was just thinking, okay, how can I inspire my team? How can I bring the spirit and heart into the kitchen? And so I know it's a story that you hear me share about it before, and maybe not in this specific way, but I started to open the space with connecting with the energy. I started talking to the people that I worked. I started having an altar. I started, setting intentions for the people that came into the kitchen, to set in personal intentions and then group intentions. We started working together in a way. We started working with the food in a different way, connecting with the energy of the food. And, everything started to transform from that internal realization of creating a different meaning. And perhaps they weren't aware. They didn't come knowing that I said, guys, now I'm focusing on the purpose. What's the purpose? No, naturally I started creating that container and creating that intention and bringing that purpose into the kitchen, that naturally when you were in that environment, you were infused with that purpose. And so, to summarize, there's a misconception of purpose. You don't have one purpose. Your purpose is going to transform throughout your life. At one time, you might believe that your purpose is, to be a mother, to be a teacher, to X, Y, Z. But maybe the purpose is connecting in love, being assertive, speaking, being in your authentic voice, honoring yourself and being loyal to yourself if you have been, permissive or people pleasing. And so that are your purpose, that are guidance, they're guiding lights, that infuse your whole way of being. And so using purpose as a way to create meaning and as a way to create intention and meaning in your life and direction. And so therefore, when you create, when you bring down purpose as a way of being that infuses your whole life and gives you a direction, then it's no longer about a result. It's every step of the way, the meaning, the purpose that you're bringing, and the meaning that you're harvesting. And so it becomes a journey of growth, of fulfillment every single step of the way. And that's the difference. And that's what I'm inviting you to. And to leave you with, a reflective question, how can you bring purpose in your life? How do you are called? How are you being called to bring purpose and meaning in your life? And how can you bring more purpose in your life, more meaning in your life? Perhaps what meaning and what purpose needs to be activated in your life in this moment of your life. And so I leave you with that. Lots and lots of love. Bye-bye. And I just want to share a little message with you about my 30 minutes training of connecting with your vision and bringing your vision into the world and into your life, more importantly, and connecting with the energy of your vision and your heart commitment. And also, I'm going to invite you to my one-on-one coaching program that is called Awaken to Your Soul. So if you want to continue deepening with yourself, connecting with yourself, learning about yourself, learning about emotions and your emotional world, and how can you use your emotion as a resource, I invite you to connect with me. The link is below, sofiamartinezcoaching.com. And it's a 3-month program where we dive deep into your own internal landscape, into your own internal world, and begin to deepen your connection with yourself, with your inner guidance, with your inner trust, inner stability, and resourcing yourself over and over again. Sending you lots and lots of love. Bye-bye. Take care.